Three, two, one, introduction.
It's crazy, married to the hustle, blame the music cause it made me cold.
What's going on, y'all? GRIMM, representing the 818, GRIMM Nation, Sophisticated Ignorance, EMG. Ready for this?
Sure, man. So, how did you get your name, Grimm?
Originally, back in 2001, my MC name was actually Weapon X. Because that's what my specialty was in the military. I handled weapons, took them apart, repaired them, tested them, all that. And then one of my friends was like, dude, there's too many X's out right now. You got Exhibit, DMX, RBX, X-rated, so you need something else. So I was thinking, I'm like, damn, what could I go by? And then I remember my mom's a little Korean lady. She used to always tell me when I was reading my comic books when I was a kid, she goes, you look just like this guy. You're always angry, you're yellow. You should just call yourself Grimm. And then my stepdad's like, dude, my stepdad's also military, he was a sniper. So his company used to say he was Death on Wheels. So that tied in with Grimm, and then they're like, oh, this little Reaper right here. So it kind of tied together, and I just decided to keep it.
That's cool. It's very interesting how everything just kind of connected into one. It all kind of came together for you. That's dope.
That's how you know when something's meant to be, when it starts locking together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I seen that you were born in Massachusetts.
Yes, sir.
What's your background out there?
My dad, my real dad, he's a head buster from Lynn, original Sin City, Mass. And he was in the Marine Corps, and he went overseas. He met my mom, and my mom was like, she was getting ready to come to the U.S. to be a student. She got a scholarship to come to the United States and be a volleyball athlete over here. And she moved to Boston to do that. And my dad was on leave visiting his family, and they got, things happened. But needless to say, scholarship disappeared because she became a full-time mom, and Boston is where I came up at.
That's cool. So what's your background? You went to school out there, you did everything out there?
No, I was there from, I want to say, from born day until probably halfway through 3rd grade. Okay. And then my mom got remarried. She married another soldier, another Marine. We got stationed overseas. We started bouncing overseas after that. So, but I would always come back like summers, try to come back to the U.S. But I ended up in New York a lot because I had cousins there. Boston every once in a while.
Okay. So how did you end up doing business management in Maryland? How'd that come about?
After I started serving, one of the colleges that offers distance education through the military is the University of Maryland. So you have the University of Maryland, I think it's Central Texas College. And Central Texas, all they offer is criminal justice. I'll be damned if I become a cop or a lawyer or any of that. So in Maryland it is. I did most of my schooling overseas, and then I took a couple classes there because that's the only place they offer. So I had to go to Maryland.
Did you graduate?
Yes, sir.
Nice. You what did you graduate with?
Bachelor of Arts, business management. You doing it.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Hopefully something comes up where I can be my own boss.
You spoke of you served in the Army. What made you want to go?
Family. Every generation of my family has been a soldier. My dad, my stepdad, my mom's dad. It goes back. I probably got ancestors in the original Korean Army. You know what I mean? Like, we was warriors. My family's nothing but warriors.
If you had the opportunity, would you go back?
Sometimes I kind of do, just because the bonds that you form in the Army with people, like especially with your life on the line, these people you trust every day. I mean, you live with them for like most of the time, year to 2 years, you live with them. And it's like when you come back to civilian life, you don't really find that trust in a lot of people. Because everybody's like, I mean, it's not saying everything's bad, but people, you know, everybody wants their own thing. But in the Army, when you're unit, that one thing is protecting each other. Out here, it's a little bit more devious than that. I'm starting to figure that out.
So within all that time, where was music in this?
Oh, it's crazy. It was 2001. I just come back from leave, and they locked the base down because of 9/11. So the base was completely locked down. We couldn't go off gate. We couldn't do anything. We were just stuck in our dorm. And there was a new kid there, and he was talking about, he was just out, you know, he had brought his turntables with him, which reminds me, one love to DJ Hayes, out of Jersey, that's the kid's name. He brought his turntables with him, and he started just playing vinyl, just, you know, in his room, and that shit was knocking. He said, boom, boom, we everybody was like, oh shit. And he was like, can anybody rap? You know, a couple of us, you know, were like, yeah, you know, we do a little something freestyle here and there. And he started playing the beats, and I just started going. I think I freestyled straight for like, I don't know, I think it was 45 minutes. He just kept switching beats, hip hop. Then he would try to flip it on me. He'd throw a reggae record on, he'd throw a house record on, and I just kept going. And he was like, dude, have you been taking this serious? I'm like, nah, man, it's just a hobby, you know? I mean, that shit, everybody back home raps, you know? And then he's like, I'm gonna start making beats for you. He's like, you know, quit bullshitting. And when you get out, take it serious because you got talent. And when I got out, if I came home, I decided to go for it. So, which led me here.
So what's your background with music? Like, what did your parents listen to? Like, what do you even remember as a baby?
Oh shoot, man. My mom learned most of her English listening to like Motown, and like her favorite group is the Bee Gees, dog. Like Staying Alive, even as funny as that song is the bump in the house. The Night the Lights Went Out in Massachusetts. A lot of Beach Boys, one of the most slept on groups. I mean, they're big, but nobody really understands the influence they had on music. Like today, melody, the concept of melodies, you know, even though it was all surfed out, smoked out music, I mean, just their basic concepts of like what they did with beats, how they wrote to them. You know, a lot of groups picked up on that after their era, and they don't get the love that they do. So one love to the Beach Boys, California representing out there in that song. But yeah, a lot of Motown. My dad listened to a lot of like a lot of blues, a lot of jazz. So you know, he's the one. Stepdad got me my first hip hop tapes. I remember I was all mad in the house because I was supposed to be playing some. I think I forgot what it was, PB football or something, and I torn up my foot and I couldn't play, so I was all mad. And he brought this box of tapes and he gave it to me, and it had like the Fat Boys, Houdini, Slick Rick, and Dougie Fresh when he first came out. And I was like, I'm sure he didn't want me to pick those particular tapes, but dude, once I heard Run DMC for the first time, and I was just like, this is it, hip hop's what was, you know, that's the knock for me right there.
Do those artists influence your kind of style today, or did you learn a new style along the way, branch out?
Well, I mean, I think everybody, when they first, especially for my age group, my generation, I think everybody that starts rapping comes out with that Run DMC style first, you know, the way that I'm the king of rock, there is none high, you know, just basic rhyme schemes. But when I started taking music serious, when I started rhyming, and you couldn't get me out of the room without my headphones and backpack, it was Wu-Tang, Nas. Probably the two biggest influences on me as far as music would be Tragedy Gaddafi from Queens, and of course the one and only Big Pun. You know, we wouldn't nobody like Pun when he dropped. I a Latino that this was shredding everybody. Dude, you didn't want him on a song with you if you thought you were gonna shine, because you could spit the illest 16 you wanted. If he dropped right after you, and the next day all you people were here was like, yo, would you hear Pun's verse on that song? And it became a Pun song. That's what I want to do. When I get on a track, I don't care whose song it is. I want them to be like, yo, would you hear Grimm's verse? And that dude be like, well, that was my song. No, I think that ain't your song. That's a Grimm song. You just featured on it. And that's the mindset, you know what I'm saying? That came from just 90s era MCs, you know, and that's the biggest influence. I wish a lot of kids would go back and listen to some of that just to get that hunger, just realize how hungry people were when hip hop started. You know, I mean, they look at hip hop now, they see the chains, they see the watches, you know, they see Empire, which is a good show, but dude, you gotta get, hip hop's all about hunger, and that's what we gotta get back to.
I feel that, man. I feel that. You got any projects? I mean, because you dropped Tres Leches a while back.
Yeah, man, the 3 milks, man.
Yeah. So you got anything fresh coming out?
I'm working on the next album. It's called Crossroads. I'm a couple of tracks into it right now. I already have Black on there. I got my man Mike Storm on one track right now. My boy right here, Enrique, Young Rico, he's gonna be on a track. That's that Sophisticated Ignorance shit right there. That's our group, Sophisticated Ignorance. That project we're working on right now too is this gonna be a mixtape. It's called Ignorance at its Finest. That's gonna be dropping pretty soon. We're about 5-6 tracks into that. Of course, Hope's still trying to get you on something. Gonna have my boy Young Casper on the track. Ryan Maddox and Slum have agreed to be on it. It's gonna be a good look. It should be out. I'm hoping to get it out by the summer.
Okay, so that's something to look forward to. With all that being said, anything going on with you, you just like to maybe speak about? A little 5-minute get your mind right session.
No, man, I just lately I just been like, I kind of eased back from shows. I was doing shows pretty consistently. Shout out to Young Baka, shout out to DJ Nympho. That's the family right there. They made sure I was consistently on stage. So I decided to take a break from that just to get the music done. And I was thinking about it, and I was looking at the scene in general. I'll go through Facebook. I'll check out anybody that I know. If they post a track, I'll check it out, whether I like it or not. And one of the things I just noticed is lyricism is starting to come back. It's slow. We have eras. Like I said, the 90s was nothing but, I'm gonna rip you on the mic. I'm gonna do better than you. And then you hit the Flossy era, where it's like I had more money than you. Then you had I don't know what the era you want to call before this, where I could dance better than you, which I really don't give a fuck about. No offense to anybody that does that and make their money. If you want to shake your ass on a video, shake your ass. That's do your thing. Now lyrics are coming back. Look at who we got in the scene right now. You got the Rhyme Addicts. You got Razor. You got Rick's Rumble. You got Casper. You got, who else that's like just killing me, like listening to the music right now? Destruct and Assume. Yo, check that Concrete Word out. That was a good look. That's a good album right there. But just hip hop in its essence is like it's rebuilding itself. And the fact that I get to recontribute to that as it's growing in the Valley right now and in LA right now, that's a wonderful thing. Oh, another thing, shameless plug, Rhyme Schemes coming out soon, RS 101. I'll definitely be checking for that. And shit, man, hip hop's in a lovely spot right now. We just need to keep letting it grow.
You looking for sponsorship?
Right
here watching?
As of right now, the only affiliation I really have, of course, is with my own crews. Sophisticated Ignorance, SI. My War Paint family back in Boston, EMG of course. I did get this the other day in the mail, show that off real quick. Crime Luciano's clothing line right there, Gods and Kings. I had to shop that out one time for them. But if there's anybody out there willing to throw me a sponsorship right now, help me, keep this Grimm Nation movement building, just hit me up, grimmhova at gmail.com, Facebook, Grimm818, SoundCloud, Grimm818, grimm.bandcamp.com. Shoot, if you're walking around the valley, just ask about me. Somebody will let you know where I'm at.
To end this out, want to give some shout outs?
Yeah, first of all, shout out to Most High, because, at the end of the day, whether you believe in God, Jehovah, Allah, Buddha, Hindu gods, whatever, there's one main power, directing your path. Whether you want to believe it or not, he's there. Shout out EMG, Lex, Casper, IME, Nate Dogg, Jackie, Jay Reed. Shout out my boy Young Rico, Sophisticated Ignorance. Shout out everybody back home in Boston. Rest in peace to my boy Craig, Sense lives forever. Shout out to my folks, because even though they didn't support me that much coming up with the music, they realize it's a dream, so they always, were like, hey, if you're gonna do it big. Shout out to my wifey at the crib, Rosa. I know things, with my work schedule the way it is, it's the fact that you allow me to do things like this and do shows. I love you for it.
Flows will hit them with the ice pick. I'm nice with the verbals, but I'm better with the gunplay. Bogota jet like coca on the runway. Pistol in the waistband, killer Cali feng shui. Kanye bumping walk with Jesus on a Sunday. Sin City Superman, dirty ghetto Clark Kent. Hancock sleeping with the 40 on a park bench. I'm thugged out, joker face, why so serious? Machiavelli death row, 7-day period shit. Point blank period, I murder with the music. Rockefeller pen game, jigger with the blueprint.